The MX Master 3 from Logitech is said to be the king of productivity mouse for a while now. It has been on the market since its first release back in September 2019, and 4 years later a second updated version announced in May 2022, the MX Master 3S, whereby the S in the 3S stands for silent. Nah, I'm just kidding. The newer MX Master 3S now has a silent, more muted version clicks with an improved DPI sensor, longer battery life, adjusted the side buttons for more ergonomic improvements, all of which the design between the 3 and 3S are almost identical. I'll put up a chart comparing the differences between the MX Master 3 and the 3S right here, as well as in the description box below for your reference. So in this video, we'll be taking a look at the MX Master 3 that I've been using for about 6 to 7 months now, and I'm finally ready to give you guys an in-depth review of this productivity mouse. Talk about all there is to know about this mouse, the things I like and dislike, and my overall user experience. So before rolling the intro, allow me to answer some of the questions that I posted in my previous unboxing and first impression video about 3 to 4 months ago. Question number 1 and number 2, does the MX Master 3 still lags or stutter with the M1 Mac Mini, even after countless updates from Apple? And is it still laggy even when using the provided USB dongle or only via Bluetooth? So to answer that question, coming from the M1 Mac Mini, using either the dongle or Bluetooth does still stutter from time to time. On the flip side of things, it works perfectly fine on a Windows machine. Question number 3, is the customizable horizontal scroll wheel or the max speed electromagnetic scroll wheel both a game changer? Well, technically yes and no. Well, details will be revealed later in the video, so be sure to watch the video all the way to the end. Well, the horizontal scroll wheel can now be replaced by a simple gesture remapping via Logitech Options app. The new vertical mouse, the Logitech Lift, surprisingly is able to do horizontal scroll even without the physical horizontal scroll wheel. As for the max speed scroll wheel, that is truly an exclusive feature for the MX Master series mouse. It is indeed phenomenal for scrolling through long lines of pages or codes. This is really something that you have to try it for yourself to actually know how good this is. And for the last few questions, is the price tag on the MX Master 3 worth it? What about the MX Master 3S, or should you wait for the MX Master 4? Well, hopefully by the end of the video, we'll get to answer these questions. Now with this out of the way, let's dive right in. Hi, my name is Ken and welcome back to the channel where we talk about filmmaking, photography, gadgets related and tech. If any of this piques your interest, consider subscribing to the channel as you may learn a thing or two from these videos. Alright, starting from the unboxing of the MX Master 3, which I've already covered in the previous video. You can check out the video if you haven't already. So here's everything that comes inside the box. The MX Master 3 mouse, the regular unifying receiving USB dongle, USB Type A to Type C cable, and that's basically everything that comes out of the box. So right here is the MX Master 3 in light grey, which I am currently using with my all-white desk setup with the Magic Keyboard and trackpad both in white. Taking a look at the dimensions of the MX Master 3, I would say that it is a pretty bulky mouse, measuring at 8.4 cm in width, 12.2 cm in length and about 5.2 cm in height, weighing in at about 141 grams. Taking a look at the design and build quality of the MX Master 3, my initial thoughts about the design is that it looked like a freaking spaceship, which Logitech actually advertised it that way. Anyways, the MX Master 3 is made out of solid plastic and feels very durable. There's only a small wobble on the max speed scroll wheel like this right here that does absolutely nothing. The MX Master 3 has a premium high-end feel thanks to the latex grip material all around the mouse, overall providing a solid and comfortable grip of the entire mouse for long hours of use. Here you have the standard left click with the logo Logi printed on top, a max speed vertical scroll wheel that spins infinitely for breezing through long web pages or documents. It also features a click-to-click scroll wheel when required, and over here the right click. So both for the left and right clicks are normal audible clicking switches, unlike the brand new MX Master 3S which is silent. Then you have this button right here. By default is to switch to constantly using max speed scroll wheel without individual clicks, or have it to be on a hybrid auto detection mode where it recognizes the force that you exert while scrolling. Then sliding down to the thumb area lies an LED indication for battery levels, as well as a horizontal scroll wheel, which is the primary selling point of this MX Master series mouse. A full-size scroll wheel that is programmed to scroll horizontally. We will talk more about this horizontal scroll wheel in just a second. Now just below the scroll wheel there is the forward and back button that has a muted click. Though not silent, it's much quieter than the left and right click on this mouse. The MX Master 3 also have a rather large thumb placement right here. If you notice closely, there is sort of a mesh finishing on top of the rubber grip, a sort of wavy contour around the palm area all the way to the thumb resting area, which is pretty nice. And there is still one more button that is hidden right here. This is a hidden button with gesture pack features which clicks pretty loud. This button is fully customizable and I will be sure to touch on the features of each of the buttons in the next section of the video. Now, taking a look at the bottom of the mouse, there are a total of 4 rubber pads to help the mouse glide smoothly on any surface. Starting from the top-down view, a USB-C charging port for when you need to recharge your mouse. The on and off switch with a green and red accent inside the switch to indicate on or off. The MX Master 3 is using a dark field tracking technology that works on virtually any surface, even glass, with a 4000 dpi precision. Finally, the last pressable button on this MX Master 3 is a Bluetooth switch button to change between device 1, 2 or 3, which in my opinion is at a horrible position in terms of ergonomics. I kid you not that they should have just put this switch on the top side. But anyways, that's basically everything about the design and build qualities with all of the buttons and features of the MX Master 3 in general. So let's dive a little bit deeper on the features of what the MX Master 3 has to offer and talk about the things that I like and dislike about this particular mouse. First is the max speed scroll wheel that zooms through web pages and documents with speed. Now this right here is something really cool to have if you are handling with long pages of documents, be it coding or Excel sheets or even PDFs. By default, the button located behind the max speed scroll wheel is to toggle on and off the click-to-click scroll feedback. Again, by default, the max speed scroll wheel will kick in if you exert enough force when scrolling, indicating that there is a long page for you to scroll. Otherwise, it will trigger a click-to-click scrolling feedback like how a normal mouse would do. Toggling it off simply puts the max speed to be always on. Even if you do a single click, it is more like a frictionless scroll. As for me, I personally leave it at this auto detection mode. Instead, I configure this button to do something else, such as closing a window with ease like such. This can be configured through Logitech's must-have software application called Options. I think I've mentioned this countless of times. When using Logitech's products, it is highly recommended to install this extension app as it works exceptionally well with all of the customizations that you need. Logitech's Options also offer a unique feature called Flow, which allows users to connect multiple platforms, be it iOS or your Windows tablet or a Windows machine with your Mac, using the same mouse and keyboard peripherals without toggling any switch. So I'll leave a link in the description box in case if you are interested. Now moving on to the second thing that I absolutely love about the MX Master 3 is of course the horizontal scroll wheel. This physical scroll wheel, well, based on its name, simply scrolls horizontally, mainly on video editing on my timeline, where I can easily breeze through the timeline when editing, or even scrolling left and right on an Excel sheet, or when simply browsing in Notion or simply any web pages. This also works in the Find This app on the Mac for scrolling left and right. It is also good to know that this scroll wheel can also be modified to perform different functions, for example increasing or decreasing volume, zoom in and out feature, and a whole bunch more, all of which is available on Logitech's Options app. Now the last mentioned worthy feature is the hidden button that activates gesture controls shown earlier in this video. There are a total of 5 individual gestures to perform. Single click on the button, pressing and holding, and dragging up, down, left or right, each to perform a gesture based on your preference. So inside of Logitech's option, there are already a couple of presets to choose from, or simply remap it to your own liking. Now moving on to the things that I like and dislike about the MX Master 3. In a nutshell, the MX Master 3 is a very solid productivity mouse with lots of functions and gesture controls. The build quality is amazing and has a wavy contour mesh rubber finish all around the mouse, has a max speed scroll wheel to zoom through web pages or long documents. It also has a horizontal scroll wheel that is game-changing for video editors or someone who actually just works with Excel. With the scroll of your thumb, you can easily scroll left and right naturally, like how you would do it scrolling up and down. And that being said, this horizontal feature is no longer exclusive to the MX Master series mouse, as the latest Logitech Lift, a vertical mouse, though not having a physical scroll wheel, but through the Logitech's Option Plus application, you get to perform a horizontal scroll with the regular scroll wheel by long pressing on the forward button while scrolling. I think that this is a new feature available on the Logitech Options Plus, which also means that the MX Master 3's unique selling point is not so unique after all. For those of you who are interested in the Logitech Lift, I've made an unboxing and first impression video a while back, as I'm currently using the Logitech Lift as my daily driver on my M1 Mac Mini, and I look forward to make a full in-depth review of the Logitech Lift sometime in the future. So if you're interested, be sure to be subscribed to the channel to not miss this video when it is published. Now moving on to the sensitivity of the MX Master 3, it is good enough for my everyday use. Though not made for gaming, you can get away with some light gaming, but I won't recommend it. For a more game-centric mouse, it will be better looking at gaming mouses from Logitech's gaming series mouse or from other gaming companies like Razer or SteelSeries. The forward and back button also have a nice touch to it, being slim yet functional. So far, I have no complaints about the forward and back button. They are at a good and comfortable position. Needless to say, the Logitech MX Master 3 is packed with a ton of personalized customization based on your requirements, from the back and forward button, dedicated horizontal scroll wheel, to the hidden gesture pad feature button. These customizations can be applied to individual applications or through Logitech's option software. For example, my settings in Final Cut Pro for video editing is slightly different as compared to the one in Lightroom when I'm editing photos. So if you are interested in what I use exactly on these presets, do hit me up in the comments down below. Now, the MX Master 3, being a premium mouse, is able to connect up to 3 devices from iOS to Android, from Windows to macOS, tablets and even iPads, all with no problem. So, device 1 is normally linked to the USB dongle by default. And if you don't want to use the dongle, you can actually assign it via Bluetooth as you like. Now, the part where it annoys me a lot is the fact that the Bluetooth switch is situated at the bottom of the mouse. That means it is almost impossible not to lift your entire mouse in order to change from device 1 to device 2 or 3. I think only if we could assign the top button under the max speed scroll wheel to switch between different devices, that would be a nice touch. But unfortunately, you cannot reassign this particular function. Now, the battery life on the MX 3 is extremely good, using it for close to 2 months until it requires a single charge. Logitech advertised that a full charge will last up to 70 days, and to me, this is more than enough juice. When the battery is running low, if I remembered correctly, you will get a 10% and 5% reminder for your battery when it is low. As you use the MX Master 3, you will eventually notice that the LED near the thumb area flashes red, indicating that it is time to charge the mouse. So simply plug in the USB-C cable before you head to bed and you have a full charge the next morning. If you still forget to charge the mouse, then a 10 minutes of charge will last up to 30 hours of use, which should give you more than enough time to actually charge the MX Master 3. And yes, you can still use the MX Master 3 when it is being charged, unlike the Magic Mouse from Apple. So speaking of the USB dongle, the MX Master 3 comes with the regular unifying dongle, not the bulk receiver, which is said to be the next gen Bluetooth connection that is present on the Logitech Lift that was released earlier this year. Now, the very last thing that I absolutely hated about the MX Master 3 is that there is no slot to keep the dongle inside the mouse when you're not using the dongle, which seems to be a very simple thing to do. But I do not know why, they just don't put it there. A premium mouse not having a slot to keep the dongle is pretty shit. Now, with all of that being said, I personally really enjoy the MX Master 3 a lot. The beefy grip on the mouse, next level customization of the buttons, insane battery life, a dedicated horizontal scroll wheel are some of the really strong selling points of the MX Master 3. However, there is a new MX Master 3S that has a couple of minor improvements, mainly on the silent clicks, both receiving dongle, and higher DPI sensitivity. While the MX Master 3S is selling at about 100 ringgit more than the predecessor, the MX Master 3, is it worth the upgrade for just a couple of clicks and an improved sensitivity? Or would you consider the Logitech Lift that is selling at about 299 ringgit, about 60 ringgit cheaper than the MX Master 3? That is a vertical mouse for better ergonomics, has silent clicks, comes with a bolt receiving dongle, and is able to do horizontal scroll straight out of the box. So is the MX Master 3 worth the money? I will let you decide on that. And we've come to the end of the video. That is basically my full in-depth review on the MX Master 3 after using it for about 6 to 7 months now. If you have any questions at all, or if I've missed out anything in this video, feel free to leave me a comment down below. I'll be sure to get back to you guys as soon as possible. As always, thank you all so much for tuning in. My name is Ken and I'll catch you all in the next video. Stay safe, peace out, and bye bye.